अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारे शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to this 2 days workshop on Sri Harinam Chintamani. Especially we are discussing inattention while chanting, which is called as Nam Aparad. So today we will begin our discussion on this topic, and I was just reflecting that last 3-4 days we are hearing from His Grace Deen Bandhu Prabhu the wonderful Vrindavan pastimes and relishing the So we have been hearing the Vrindavan pastimes and we are relishing the Braj Ras, the mellows of Vrindavan. So to enter into this Braj Ras or the mellows of Vrindavan, we need Nam Ras. We have to develop Nam Ras. And what in this 2 days, which is almost like 6 hours, we are going to discuss this root of all offenses is inattention while chanting. So this is just a brief summary what we are presenting here, because the most exhaustive summary is what we present in our workshops, and which is almost like a 3 days discussion, each going for 6 hours. So there are 3 types of inattention, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. And for each of the 3 types, each day we spend on that discussion. But this is just a brief summary, and we'll try to cover briefly what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying about this with some practical exercises. I hope everyone is having their bead bags, and I think many devotees might have not registered for this, so you can join the group. I don't know who is in charge here, so that you can get the slides and all. whoever is attending here, come here. So, we'll begin by discussing on what Prabhupada has to say on this Namaprad, which is the root of all offenses. You chant Hare Krishna and hear also Hare Krishna. This is the process. You should not hear anything, neither your mobile sound. So you have to keep your mobiles in silent. So Prabhupada is repeatedly going to speak about this, and we'll have to carefully understand what exactly constitutes as an offense. So Prabhupada is saying, you chant Hare Krishna and you hear also Hare Krishna. This is the process. Okay. Not that you are chanting Hare Krishna mechanically, but you are hearing something else. So you chant the Hare Krishna, but if you hear something else, you hear some other sound, you are producing the sound vibration Hare Krishna, and you have to hear Hare Krishna. So what else voice you might hear? Whose voice you might hear? Raise your hands. Do you have the mic here? The cordless mics? You can give one here and one in the back. So whose else's voice you can hear apart from the Hare Krishna mantra what you have vibrated? Raise your hands. This is an interactive workshop. This is not a katha. Their last, Mataji, there, you can give the mic there. Give one mic there only. Let it be there. One mic can be here. Only one you have. Then you give a wired one here. Yes.
Mind.
You can hear the mind's voice. Yes?
Mind is talking.
Mind's voice you can hear. Now, my question to you all is, hear very carefully. How many primary divisions of the mind's voice you can hear? Primary. What are the different kinds of mind's voice you can hear apart from hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Think about it. No, you have to raise your hands. This is the etiquette you'll have to follow. We will decide who will answer. Echo, keep it a little low. Now it is not comfortable for me to get down and write on the board. And apart from myself, nobody can do that. Okay, keep it like this. No. So, what are the different types of primary divisions of the different voices of the mind you can hear? What are the different? You have attended last time, so we will not give a chance. Anyone else? Thoughts. Okay. What are the different kinds of or divisions of the voices you can hear of the mind? The mind's voice is right, yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
External, internal.
External, internal, okay. Two divisions. Good analysis. Yes, Prabhuji.
About the past, present and future.
Past, present and future. Three divisions. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Past, present and future. Any other answers? How many of you have registered for this workshop? Raise your hands here. Okay, few are there. Okay. Any other thoughts on this? You have to tell them. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Is like kind of two kinds of things. First, mind tries to like put us in infinity complex, and second is kind of
You have to specifically answer my question.
two divisions. Like one is appreciating us on our achievement,
No explanation given. Only what are the two divisions you tell, that's it.
like kind of good and bad side.
Good and bad side. Two divisions again. Yes.
Whatever it senses.
Okay. Little close answer. Okay.
Glorification and purification.
I think we are going little off track from the subject now. So, we can hear 16 primary voices. The soul is covered by 16 layers. Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, Kham. These are the Pancha Mahabhut. Then there are the five Karmendriyas and the five Gyanendriyas. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. Then the mind, intelligence and ego is also included there, right? That. So, but it is included as one sometimes, 16. So there is a 16 layers which are covering the soul. So any of these voices you can hear. Now let's come to the grossest one, right? So when I'm chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, my mind's voice says I am hungry. So among the 16 primary voices you can hear, which voice is this? Raise your hand. Think about it carefully. Which voice you heard now among the 16 primary? Which one was this? You have to raise your hands, Yes. Fire. Any other answers? Yes. Ether. Okay, interesting. I think we have to go back to our foundation ABCD of Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Tongue. Yes. Okay. Yes. Earth. The body is demanding food. Earth is basically food element. And if I am chanting Hare Krishna and I feel thirsty, then which voice is this? Yes. Water. Water. So earth, water, fire, air, ether, So in each of these there can be unlimited varieties. Like I am hungry and you have unlimited varieties of food. Of course the tongue also wants to taste. Yes, there is also that combination. So like that there are these five, and then the senses and sense objects. You want to see a specific sense object and there are unlimited desires for seeing these sense objects. Then I want to walk or I want to talk, the mind is speaking all these voices. So the permutation and combination is what? Unlimited. And all these impressions of the past or the future or the present are all stored in the chitta, and these voices are speaking. So when you are chanting Hare Krishna and you hear this voice, that means you did not hear Hare Krishna. That means you have committed a offense. That is namaprad. It's very difficult to fathom that this what is constitutes namaprad. If you hear something else, then it is a offense. I am not saying this, Prabhupada is saying this. That is inattention, that is offense. So if the mind is acting, if the mind's voice you hear, then it constitutes an offense. So recently I was just going through some of the seminars which are given on holy name, and there was one seminar on 25 things what one should not do while chanting. And I was shocked and surprised. My goodness, they are speaking about all these gross things, but Prabhupada is speaking about what exactly constitutes as a offense. Like while chanting, you should not talk, or you should not go in the garden and chant and look here and there. These are all gross offenses. But even if you hear the mind's voice, then you have committed a offense. It's an aparadh. Prabhupada is saying that is inattention, that is offense. It will take some time. Now, I don't want to give you a shock and tell you how much that some time is. For that, you will have to come for that 4-day workshop where we'll give you the whole time scale, how much time it is going to take to come out of this offense. If you chant offensively, then it will take some time. Now, the question mark is how much time? So, we will not disclose that here in this summary study. Because what we do in our workshop is these 16 layers, what I spoke. I did not draw it, but you can visualize. To break each of these layers takes a particular time. And there are different stages in our development of our spiritual life, and how to break each of these layers and ultimately hear the mantra which will enter the heart. The heart here means the chitta, the soul. And then you can experience Cheto Darpanam, Marjanam, and experience the ecstasy of the holy name. So, the whole calculation we give, and this is again based on Shastra only. So, that is a long discussion. So, we will be not doing that discussion here in the summary study. But it will take some time, that we have to understand. It will take some time. Okay, so we wanted to do a skit to exactly explain this point, but some of our volunteers are not here. So we will skip that, but I will explain when I present the next slide. This is from Srila Prabhupada's lecture on the Bhagavad Gita. Then let us hear what again Prabhupada has to say. Then, inattention while chanting the holy name. You should chant this Hare Krishna and you should hear also. Again, Prabhupada is repeating the same thing. You should chant and you should hear. If you hear something else, then it is a offense. If your mind is acting, the mind is somewhere else, and you are chanting, oh, Prabhupada is saying, oh, that is an offense. So next time when you sit for chanting, forget about all the gross things you might do to commit an offense while chanting. Sometimes I see devotees with their mobile scrolling and at the same time with their bead bags chanting. Now I'm going to ask you, if you're speaking to your close friend over the phone, he's somewhere else and you're speaking to him, and while he's speaking to you, there is an interruption, he's speaking to someone else. How will you feel? How will you feel? Irritated. Yes, that's the right term. You will feel irritated. Right? Because he is putting his attention somewhere else. And the Lord is in our heart. You are calling his name and you are inattentive. So how will the Lord feel then? The Lord is right situated in our heart. So we have to think, how will the Lord feel? If another person can feel irritated, and I've seen many times some of the devotees, specifically, while they are discussing on the phone, they attend to something else at the same time simultaneously. This is very, very irritating. So how would Krishna feel? That, you're taking his name and then your attention is somewhere else. So if the mind is acting, then it is a offense. That means while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no question of the mind acting. If your mind is acting, it's an offense. Once Srila Prabhupada disciple came to him that, I'm very disturbed, how to deal with this mind while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And Prabhupada very gravely said, you vibrate the mantra and then hear the mantra. Where is the question of the mind? This devotee was shocked. All the time we are battling with the mind and Prabhupada is saying, where is the question of the mind? So he could not figure out and understand. And this we will present in the form of sutras which I have studied from many of the japa retreats. And in the purport to Matchitta Matagata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kataschapam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. In that purport, Prabhupada follows Baldev Vidyabhushan and explains that just as a lover and beloved take pleasure in each other, similarly the pure devotees take pleasure in discussing about Krishna. Suppose a lover and beloved are sitting in the garden and the lover is absorbed in the beauty of the beloved and the sweet talk of the beloved. The lover forgets his to-do things. Nothing comes in his mind, right? He forgets to go to his office also because he is absorbed in the beauty of the beloved. He forgets everything. And even for a moment, if the lover's attention diverts from the beloved, what happens? What happens? Does anyone know? What happens? Havoc. Prabhuji has no experience then. What happens? Anyone? Huh? Disturbed. I want to know exactly what happens in such a case. What happens when the lover little bit diverts his attention from the beloved?
Beloved disrespect.
1 minute.
The beloved calls his attention back to the
No. All inexperienced. Yes. Huh? Quarrel happens. Okay. That's a little. The moment the attention diverts, the beloved is upset and she leaves away the place. She leaves away the place. Right? It's an aparadh, it's an offense for her, she cannot do. So, if that is in a case of two individual consciousness, Krishna is supreme consciousness sitting in the heart of the jiva. And moment our attention diverts to something else, what happens then? Krishna is not present in the holy name. He is not present in the holy name. That's it. When Narad Muni plays his veena and sings, immediately the Lord comes and sits in his heart. Immediately the Lord is reflected in the heart of the pure, heart of Narad Muni. Because his attention is 100% on the Lord. And the Lord also, yayata mam prapadyate. But even for a moment, the attention diverts to something, the Lord leaves away. Just like the beloved leaves the place and goes away. I could not understand this phenomena. Only when I came to ISKCON I understood. Many years back, in my school, when I was in 10th standard, backside my house, one couple used to come and always they used to sit. And once, this, the girl, she was moving away and all the way going through the streets. And the lover was backside him. And I was wondering why, on the street they are going. But because his attention had diverted for a moment. So this we can imagine in the case of Krishna, because Krishna is seated in the heart. and is supreme consciousness. So, moment our consciousness diverts, even for a moment, then Krishna leaves that place. Krishna is not present in the holy name. So, there is a principle which we say when the heart is open, the mind is closed. So, because the lover has opened his heart to the beloved, his mind is not functioning at all. There is no to do things, nothing. But when the mind is open, the heart is closed. So, Prabhupada basically was saying that don't deal with the mind. So, here we are not speaking about the emotional heart of the relationship in the world, we are speaking about the spiritual heart, that is the soul. So we have to, chant in such a way that we have attraction to particular deities. So those deities, for their pleasure, we have to open our heart while chanting the holy name, so that we don't deal with the mind. But if the mind is acting and it's somewhere else, then it is a offense. Then it is a offense. You should hear, this is called Samadhi. This is called Samadhi. Now, when you are actually chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Radha and Krishna are present. And you are associating directly with Radha and Krishna. And you will not know that you are associating with Radha and Krishna if you are chanting. Because you are in Samadhi. You will not know. Then how will you know that you are actually with Radha and Krishna while chanting? Is my question. Raise your hands. Anyone who has experienced this only can answer. What happened? Yes, Prabhuji.
Here, this question, Samadhi means is sarcastically sleeping or real Samadhi?
Very, very interesting question. Prabhupada is speaking about Samadhi. How will you know that actually you are with Radha and Krishna and you don't know that you are with Radha and Krishna? So how will you know you are actually with Radha and Krishna? Yes, Prabhuji.
From my experience, you'll be in complete bliss.
You will be in complete bliss. Yes, true. That also I will not come to know. How will you come to know then? Yes.
So the Prabhupada says after rounds are finished, we want to chant more and more.
Yes, that's also true. Something more. Yes.
In case of Dhruv Maharaj, Lord personally appeared when he was like in Samadhi.
Yeah.
He told him to open his eyes.
Somebody has to come and disturb you. And when you come out of that, you come to consciousness. And then you realize, Arey, what happened, Baba? Because you were in a different world. And you come back to this world. So somebody has to come and disturb you. Got the point? Now for us, we go into what Prabhuji was speaking now. We go into deep samadhi of tamaguna. And then somebody has to disturb us to wake us up. But we are not speaking about that here. Is it okay, Prabhuji? Huh? Is it okay? Fine for now? Okay. You should chant and hear, then your mind is interlocked by hearing and chanting. This is Samadhi. Samadhi means trance. Trance means completely absorbed in. You're fully absorbed in. You have lost complete consciousness of the external world, about yourself and everything else. This is chanting then. Dhyan. There is a saying in Hindi, I don't know how to put it. Dhyan, there is an object of meditation and there is a subject. Dhyan aise ho, dhyan should be such that the object on which you are meditating, you are lost in it. And you yourself are also lost in it. That is Samadhi. You yourself are all lost in it. So somebody else has to come out externally and disturb you. So by hearing and chanting, acting both ways, you will be in trance, and that trance will keep you in the transcendental stage. You are on the transcendental stage of consciousness. This is called Samadhi. So in the workshop, we go through different levels of exercises, which, in this summary we will not be doing that, where we explain how these different levels of consciousness, like breaking the consciousness of the external environment, breaking that, bringing it to the body, then going deeper, transcending the senses and sense objects, transcending the mind, and then going to the heart of chanting. That is this higher stage Prabhupada is explaining. So it's not directly possible for us to go to this transcendental stage in the beginning stages. It takes many years of efforts, and we have to break one layer after another. So we through the mandala explain how to do this, how to break one after the other layers by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We'll try to summarize that in tomorrow's last class when we summarize the whole discussion. If you become inattentive, that is an offense. That is offense. So Prabhupada is very clearly defining what exactly constitutes an offense. This is from Prabhupada's lecture on 10 offenses. Now let's do an exercise to understand this offense. All of you have your bead bags? Yes? Take out your bead bags. If somebody doesn't have the beads, they can have the beads here. I think there are extra beads for chanting. So please carefully observe the screen here, and you can start chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I will give you instructions, and this is open-eyed meditation. You have to be fully focused in seeing the mantra and chanting. That is recommended, for us, so that we can try to hear the mantra. We are using our sense object eye, focus on the mantra, so that it doesn't wander to other sense objects, and we are trying to chant. We don't close our eyes and carefully observe the mantra and chant. Also, we'll try to, we have some mantra meditation cards which I'm trying to get. Hopefully, it will come by tomorrow. Otherwise, also, you all can give your names to the coordinator here, and you can come this side. You can give to the coordinator, and we will see that it will reach you all. There's a particular methodology also on how to meditate so that you are focused while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So you all hear my instructions carefully and then begin the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Don't close your eyes, please. Stay facing the screen. Sit in a proper posture with legs folded. Of course, we will discuss of the posture in the second half of the class, how important it is. And gaze at the screen, at the mantra. Don't shake your head, okay? And keep on chanting until, you are given further instructions. So the first thing is, don't close your eyes, okay? And then sit in a proper posture and exhale. Stomach should go inside. Inhale, stomach should come out. Exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale. Now exhale, inhale, begin chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Keep your eye gaze on the mantra card. Okay. So why suddenly in between when one of the slides moved in, everyone was smiling? What is the reason? What was the reason?
We got stuck in the same.
Your mind read that, right? And you heard it. That means you did not hear the Maha Mantra. You smiled also, right? Yes? Yes? So that is exactly what is an offense, Prabhupada is saying. You got it? What exactly constitutes an offense? So I had an experience. I was going from the Delhi temple to the airport. And while going, I usually don't chant my rounds in the car, but it was early morning and it was fresh. So I was chanting and I happened to open my eyes, and on the side of the street there were some boards, and I read. And the moment I realized, my goodness, if I read that, that means I did not hear the Maha Mantra. I realized that is an offense. And then, I decided not to open my eyes till I reach the airport. So this is what Prabhupada is trying to say. So here, in the first, mantra, when the mantra card is there, you are able to focus and you are able to hear the mantra. This is, Kusum Sarovar. And the same wordings are there, what is there in the next, slide. But because Chinese language, and I hope nobody knows Chinese language, so this does not disturb you. But this, do not correct a fool, for he will hate you. Correct a wise man, and he'll appreciate you. When you read that, immediately, because the mind, immediately will catch. And then this also did not disturb you, right? While chanting. But what is this? This is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Chinese. So now you can understand what exactly constitutes an offense. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is saying. Okay, let us see further. When one becomes devotee beginning from the tongue, Jivado, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Sevan Mukehi Jivado, Swayam Eva Spurit Ada, he becomes revealed. Ainam, say Krishna. That is the perfection of chanting without any offense. So if you are chanting, what happens? Krishna Spurit Ada. Krishna is manifest in the heart and you can realize that. That means you have attained perfection. That is chanting without offenses. That is chanting without offenses. Then you will find the name is not different from Krishna. When you are chanting, you will find Krishna is dancing on your tongue. This is the conclusion. So we have to learn how to chant. So we have to learn the science, how to chant. Therefore, in the Shastra, in the Puranas, the 10 kinds of offenses are described, and Srila Jiva Goswami very much stressed to avoid these offenses. So Prabhupada is quoting Jiva Goswami. Prabhupada based his philosophy and explanation from the Bhagavad based on Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti. Jiva Goswami is Siddhanta Acharya. And many times Prabhupada quotes Jiva Goswami, especially on the 10 offenses. In 2.1.11 purport also Prabhupada elaborates on the 10 offenses what Jiva Goswami has spoken. In the beginning, we cannot chant pure form of the name, Shuddha Naam, because we are accustomed. And in the Harinam Chintamani, we will, go through that. Why we cannot chant the Shuddha Naam and how to come out of that. But still, by chanting process, then it becomes Namabhas, almost pure. Namabhas is almost pure. Abhas means just like before sunrise, you will find the darkness is off. But it is not sunlight. It is different from sunlight, but still there is a dawn. You can see everything distinctly. The darkness is gone. The darkness is gone. Similarly, first there is offensive name, and if you avoid the 10 kinds of offenses, then gradually it becomes Namavas. Prabhupada is saying how? Gradually. So we will gradually present how much time it takes to come from the Namaprat stage to the Namabhas stage. And Srila Haridas Thakur has said, Namacharya, that by Namabhas one becomes liberated. There was some argument with Haridas Thakur and one Brahmana in the office of Raghunath Das Goswami's father, uncle. So there was some high level talks on this Namabhas. So Prabhupada is saying this Namabhas is what? High level talk. It's high level talk. So by Namabhas one becomes liberated. By chanting Hare Krishna mantra offensive, one will become materially happy or distressed. So this is the result of Namapra chanting. By Namapra chanting, you can get pleasures up till heaven. Think about it. Namabhas can give you up till there. And Namabhas will take you up till liberation. But if you want Krishna Prem, then you have to chant Shuddha Naam. And when he chants pure name, there is Krishna Prem, just like Rupa Goswami, he was chanting, we are also chanting. But we are not in the stage of Rupa Goswami or Sanatana Goswami and Haridas Thakur. Actually, if we come to that stage, then there will be Krishna Prem, love for Krishna. And we cannot finish even 16 rounds because we have not created our taste for chanting. So, in this workshop, we need not worry. Ultimately, our goal is to chant 16 attentive rounds so that we can get taste in chanting. So, how to do that? We begin with chanting one attentive mantra. How much? One attentive mantra. And we'll do that exercise very soon. Just like Rupa Goswami said that what shall I chant with one tongue and 2 ears? If there were millions of tongues and trillions of ears, I could chant something. This is his experience, Rupa Goswami. That is Nam. Still, we are in the Namaprad stage. We are in the Namaprad stage. But don't be disappointed. So Prabhupada is giving little assurance. Don't be disappointed. Go on chanting. You will come to the right position. Namabhas, then Shuddha Nam. Everything requires gradual development. So gradual there is development. This is again from Srila Prabhupada's lecture on 10 offenses. The purification of chanting Hare Nama means that as soon as you chant the holy name of Krishna, immediately you will see the form of Krishna. You will realize the qualities of Krishna. You will immediately remember the pastimes of Krishna. This is chanting. That is pure chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. That is commented by Srila Jiva Goswami that a pure devotee chants Hare Krishna mantra, immediately all these Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Parikar, Vashisht, everything will manifest. Simply by chanting name, you will feel the form of Krishna. Here is Krishna, Nama, Rupa, Guna. Here are the qualities. Oh, Krishna is so qualified, he is so kind, he is so magnanimous. So many qualities you will remember. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, then his pastimes. Oh, Krishna instructed Arjuna, Krishna played with his cowherd boys, Krishna had very nice talks with the gopis, with his mother Yashoda. These things will be remembered. That is factual perfection of chanting. So Prabhupada is giving the highest level of what is chanting. One should know the offenseless chanting means remembering the form. Therefore, chanting is so easy and sublime. So, at the offenseless stage of chanting, one's chitta is pure. There is no impression in the chitta. Chitta means, I mean, the contaminated consciousness, the subtle body, the impressions. There is absolutely no impressions. So, in that chitta, then what happens? In that purified mind, the Lord image can come there. Because there are no other impressions of enjoyment of senses and sense objects of unlimited lifetimes or this lifetime present there. No material impressions in the chitta, then in that chitta, when you take the Naam, what will come? Krishna's image will come. That is mat chitta mat gata prana. So that happens only at the offenseless stage of chanting. One who's chanting Hare Krishna mantra, if he is offenseless, he will remember Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's entourage. The whole thing will be remembered and that will make him liberated. So many devotees have been asking me, Prabhuji, while chanting, is it okay for us to remember the deity, pictures, this? But most of the instructions, till now I have never found Prabhupada saying okay for it. He is just saying just here. And if you think you are liberated, then you are qualified to ask this question. If you are not liberated, then don't ask this question. Because on the liberated platform, there are no impressions in the chitta. And Krishna is appearing in the chitta. And you will never ask this question. Offenses chanting means liberated. We should therefore be very much careful not to commit offenses. Then we remain always. So long you chant Hare Krishna mantra, you will remain liberated. This is Srila Prabhupada on the Bhagavatam class. So based on this foundation teaching of Prabhupada, we will now begin the Sri Harinam Chintamani discussion on Namaprad Pramad, inattention while chanting. Now can you see this nice cartoon? He is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And what are happening inside there? So many thoughts, so many plans are going on. Okay? So, we'll take a break now for Gaur Arti. There will be the Tulsi Arti and the Gaur Arti from 6:15 to 6:45. You can attend the Arti, get fresh, and assemble here back sharp at 6:45, and we'll continue the discussion. Any questions? Any clarifications anyone has? Up till now? Saket has a question. Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear you.
While chanting, if we know some mantras that it has been for sure inattentive, do we count that and go ahead, or do we redo it with attention?
That very thought of thinking that some mantras I have not heard and do that, all planning is the planning of the intelligence, and still you are committing more offenses. So, we will teach you in very soon in the next section what to do about it. So, how to chant one attentive mantra. So there, you'll get your answer more in detail. Okay. Any other clarification? Yes, Prabhuji. What's your name? Nishant. Ishan. Okay.
One lecture I was hearing where
Any questions about what the...
like Prabhupada was again highlighting that there will be gradual development.
Yes.
In one lecture, Prabhupada also says like it takes one moment to surrender to Krishna. When a disciple asks like how much time will it take? So the two things kind of confuse.
Yeah, it takes a moment to surrender. But are we ready for that? Just like Katwang Maharaj, one moment he surrendered and perfected his life. One moment, Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days. And we don't know how much time we have. So it's again a matter of consciousness, how much we are aware. Like we are hearing so many lectures on Gita and Bhagavad. There was Lala Babu. You have heard about Lala Babu? He was a great zamindar in Bengal. And he was, with his hookah, enjoying the evening beauty and, relishing the sound of the natural sounds of the river and the, trees and the birds. And suddenly, some girl was waking up her father. Baba, uto, sun is setting. That sound he heard as a transcendental sound that the time has come. You have to awaken. So he awakened in his Krishna consciousness, renounced that very night his family, his wife, his children, and went to Vrindavan and attained perfection. So that awakening of consciousness has to come. So that has, it depends on your one's individual development of your consciousness. Lala Babu. Okay, so we break now for Tulsi Arti and Gaur Arti. That's also your break for getting fresh and joining us back sharp at 6:45. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.